y'all.
What you want? Some white or some brown?
All right. Hey. We are here. We are live. How can I tell from is it on my page?
What you mean?
Oh, bam.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Yes.
Good
It is-
deal. Good deal.
It is on your
All
page.
right. We are live, y'all. Hello. I'm glad to have y'all here with us today. 1 second.
She getting her life together.
All right. So
They passing liquor across the damn table. Ain't this a bitch?
Wait, are we? Oh, we on? Oh,
yeah, we
we
live.
live.
Hey.
taking shots on live.
Right. Setting the vibe. So thank you all so far. We got a couple of people watching. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Share the live. The more hits we get, the better off it is, the better feedback we got. Today we will be talking about our topic is men versus women. We've seen this topic kind of like overplayed. Hey Tan, hey Kareem. We've seen this topic basically go back and forth. And so I because I am I love I love seeing people just love on each other, especially relationships. I love seeing it. Maybe because that's what I grew up in. So I really want to kind of get down to the bottom of it and see what's really going on and how can we actually fix it. Like, I want this conversation to be a conversation where we can kind of come to like a meeting of the minds and say, and I know, this is not going to end it on social media. It's not going to end the women bashing or the men bashing, but at least we can try to start the process. Because I think our community needs a lot of healing. So maybe this will start the process of that. With that being said, I love to have guests. And the guest that I have today, the first guest that I have is Tiffany.
Hello.
And I'm going to give both of them a chance to introduce themselves. Tiffany is the Greek letters, we call her, because that is her. I'll let her give her, how that came about and all that good stuff. She's actually one of my favorite customers ever. She gives the best reviews ever in life. And then we have Mr. Shelton Ward, who this is bro. I've known Shelton since we were at King.
K-House.
High school. Jenna Rose, always gonna shout us out.
Blue and gold, baby.
Always been a real cool, down to earth guy. But some things on social media that he has posted has just had me perturbed. Okay, so when he said that he would come along, I said, let's go. All right, so first things first, I want Miss Tiffany, go ahead and introduce yourself. If you have anything, special, some things that you like to share about yourself, definitely go ahead and open up the platform, because Miss Tiffany is single. Miss Tiffany is single. And one of the people I try to make sure that I like to be with, around sweet folks, and she is the sweetest.
Come on.
So go ahead, Miss Tiffany.
Well, I am Tiffany, Tiff the Great, as I like to be called sometimes, as they refer to me sometimes. Come on. But yeah, I am Tiffany Sarton. And just like Bianca, come on, round of applause.
That was me over here.
Oh, that was you. Come on. Yeah, yes. But yes, so yes, I'm Tiffany, and like Bianca said, I also love love. I love love. I love to give it. I love to receive it. Love is beautiful. But we have some challenges in our community. We absolutely do, and I would love to either just share some perspective on how we can just bring this back into being just loving on each other, men, women, just everybody, and I never pick sides. It's always I'm on the side of right, and I'm on the side of love. So whatever side, I need to, however we need to express that, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
I love it. I love it. Mr. Shelton, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Where's your boy? The one and only. Shell Dog, Shell Sock, Salvador, Shell Badizer, Shell Diggity. Hey, whatever they always call me, because Shell go with everything. Shell Toes, whatever it is. Hey, it's your boy. All I can do and all I'm gonna do
Hey, Jay.
on this episode is keep it funky all day. Y'all know me as being a straightforward cat, being realistic, being 100. I give it in where I got to give it in to, you know what I'm saying? When niggas doing wrong, hey, I admit to it. Hey, we got a whole bunch of whole ass niggas out here. I'm just going to be real on that.
Look.
But at the end of the day, we got a lot of whole ass chicks out here. And I'm just tired of the whole defending the whole ass chick shit. That's the only thing I'm tired about. So we finna have this conversation real quick, man. We finna get it real deep, man. Because I fuck with sis all day. Y'all already know how we get down. K-House, baby.
Come on.
All right. So as you can see, our guests are ready. They amped up. I'm amped up. I've been thinking about this all day. I've been thinking about this all week. So let's go. So basically, like I said, what has brought me to wanting to really just kind of delve into this this topic of men versus women is because I've seen an influx on social media. I don't know if it's because now my eyes are a little bit more open because I'm now I'm single, so I'll be looking at y'all, looking at me, looking at y'all.
Oh Lord.
But so I see more, I pay attention to more. So I maybe that's why I'm seeing a lot of it. But it's really disheartening to me. It's really just to look at it and some of the comments and things that I see of people that I may personally know, or I know people that know people personally. And, you look at the comments and you're like, wow, really? Like that's how you really feel. And then some of these are, you'll see a post where somebody, they make something like a derogatory statement towards women or men. And then the very next post, they talk about how they're single and how they want to find love and and it's like, no, if the majority of my posts are in regards to how shitty a man is or how men ain't shit, and then I turn around and say, oh, but I really want to find a man. Y'all men are probably looking at me and saying, no, sis, this ain't what you want. And so I'm doing the same thing. I'm looking and I'm like, dog, you was cute to me. You just totally ruined it before you even knew you had a chance to ruin it.
My words.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Because you are what you eat, literally.
Yes.
You are what you eat.
And those posts are a glimpse into their psyche.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I truly, honestly, I don't care. And I don't subscribe to the whole when people say, oh, it's social media, I'm just posting it for entertainment. I'm sorry. I don't post anything that I don't agree with.
Exactly.
I don't post anything that does not align with who I am as a person.
Yep.
I just don't do it.
Yep.
Because I know that words are damaging. What I say and what I send into the atmosphere or into the world, they tend to come true. I know that for me, I have personally said, and I say this, and sometimes people, but I say that, I have a three strike rule. If I say something 3 times, it's going to happen. If I say I need to find another job 3 times, I'm about to start looking for a job. If I say I need to get another man more than 3 times, I need to start looking for a man.
Come on.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So those things happen. And then what happens is because I'm actively putting it out there,
Yeah.
that's what I get in return.
Yeah.
So if you constantly putting out there how bitches ain't shit,
Yeah.
guess what you gonna find?
Come on.
A bitch that ain't shit.
Come on.
If you constantly put out there that niggas ain't shit, guess what you're gonna find?
Yeah.
Ain't shit nigga.
For real.
That's I mean,
Come on.
and not to say that it's always works that way, because we've been in relationships and things not just working.
But
And
that
that's-
energy.
and that happens.
Yeah, that energy.
But
you
we
put
have
out
to
there.
be okay with it not working. And sometimes you just not for me.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just not for me. Shelton, what do you think about that?
Do y'all believe in a situation of taking out the trash?
Mm-hmm.
So if I was actually to make a post by saying something like, talking trash about some females or something, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
because y'all, I get it a lot of times. Like I'll be down in women or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All I do is question. I question women like, why do certain things happen this way?
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing that I normally get is number negativity out the gate, because majority of the time, most people normally get into their bag and they feel some type of way because they feel like I'm talking to them specifically. Got nothing to do with that. I'm just generally speaking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
a brother can even generally speak. Like it's almost like just me having an opinion about something.
Mm-hmm.
As being a black man, as of right now, like no BS, because I'm no filter all day.
Right.
So just being a man all day, no filter. I can't say nothing
Mm-hmm.
about a woman without me saying that I hate women. And everybody who knows me, who ever been around me, know damn well, hey, I love the shit out of women. Like that's the motherfucking fact.
Mm-hmm.
But I know what I like. You know what I'm saying? I know what I prefer. And when I add to certain equations, so I put it right on the board.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We'll look like, okay. So take for instance, the majority of the things going on right now on social media, everybody looking at these influencers or IG models and all that other fake ass shit. Like that ain't in my reality. I know who the real women is out here.
Mm-hmm.
Like real talk, I know who the real women is out here. They ain't calling themselves no boss bitch.
So let me
They
ask
sure
you
the hell
this.
ain't calling themselves no boss bitch. I'll tell you that shit.
So let me ask you this. So you feel like you saying
I said it. I'm
you-
gonna get double team. Hold on. Let me take off my damn little
no,
jacket.
because
I'm getting hot.
I really want to get to the thought
I'm getting
process
hot.
behind it. I think my bad. I think I should have majored in like psychology and some shit like that.
Nah,
But so you feel like by you posting these things that you don't like,
Mhm.
you feel like you're essentially taking out the trash. You're essentially
Taking out the trash.
turning away people or those women
Mhm.
who have those attributes.
Mhm.
But this is my question though, and I'm gonna let Tiff weigh in too. This is my question though. I have two questions. The first question is, what has that gotten you? What has been the positive result from you doing that? Number one. Number two, how about reversing that and talk about the women and the things about women that you actually love? So for me, I don't like niggas who don't take care of their kids. Guess what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to talk about niggas who don't take care of their kids, and I'm not going to involve myself around niggas who don't take care of their kids.
Facts.
I don't like niggas who don't have jobs. Guess
don't
what?
either.
A nigga who don't have a job, I don't talk about him.
Right.
You know why? Because I don't want that to I don't want to attract that.
Absolutely.
I don't even want to bring that in my space. I don't even want that nowhere around. Broke assness. No, I don't want it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like if you counteract the negativity with the positivity, your outcome will be a little bit better, because all of these guys that I see that are constantly posting this shit,
Mhm.
ain't no woman to be had. None.
Nope.
There's literally no woman. And probably the woman who you are screwing on is just simply that, a woman that you're screwing on who probably embodies the things that you're saying that you absolutely hate.
Absolutely.
Hold on one second.
Nope.
Go ahead, Tiff.
Okay.
How you gonna ask me
So-
2 questions?
I
I can't
know.
even answer a question.
I know, but I haven't let Tiff say nothing.
So you
yet far.
definitely said something when you said you don't want to attract, you don't talk about broke ass niggas because you don't want a broke ass nigga. You know what I mean? So why even speak on it? Why even? And that's definitely important because we don't realize that the universe doesn't understand what we don't want. The universe only hears what we speak, what we think about. So if we're talking about, oh, I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want this, I don't want, and we're constantly thinking about what we don't want, and we're constantly speaking about what we don't want, the universe is going to bring that to us. The universe doesn't hear don't. It only hears what you're thinking about and what you're saying.
Words have power.
They absolutely do. Words and thoughts absolutely have power. And so if you're giving energy to, oh, these broke ass niggas ain't this and this and this, that's what you're going to attract. If chicks ain't this and this, and that's what you're going to attract. You know, and just like you said, a lot of the guys that you hear constantly speaking on negative, women ain't this and women do this and the women, and it's not even something they're going through. They just speaking on it. Just they heard something on Facebook and now they making posts and sharing memes, and it's like, but you're not even going through this, right? Like, why even speak on it? Why not talk about what you love? Why not talk about what you want to embody? So yeah, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Go ahead, Shell.
For one, when we speak about the things that we love, especially on our posts, what women come on that post?
What do you mean?
Do y'all come on a positive post when we talking positive about black women?
But
why do we?
Why
I
do
don't
we
know.
need to?
I'm just generally speaking.
I'm saying,
I'm just generally speaking.
but if
'cause
you're
my post
showing
be
love-
dead, it be dead as a bird.
But are you looking for confirmation, validation, and agreement for
No,
people to come on there and say, oh, yes, yes, yes? Because a lot
This-
of times we agree
this-
with it and it's
okay.
like, okay, yes, that's good. But the negative stuff is like, hold on.
The likes, the negative. I'll put it like this: when I have any positive posts about my sisters, I don't get no feedback on those posts. I'll probably get like 10 to 15 likes or hearts or whatever from nothing but brothers. Sisters go right past it. When I'm giving y'all full play. Like, this is what we prefer. This is what I call my sister. This is what we like right here. This is what we love. Positive ass posts. No play. Everything negative. That's when everybody want to come to the forefront, and then everybody got something to say then on that note.
But I mean,
But this the whole thing though. Hold up, because this the same way how like how I was saying when I did my introduction or whatever is I know it's some weak ass dudes out here. I can't defend them weak ass dudes. The niggas ain't taking care of their kids, having all these babies and all this shit. Hey, shit, I'm 41 with none. Like, I'm good. Hey, I ain't a part of that category, but I'm going through that bullshit. Like I'm out here got like 5 kids and ain't taking care of not one. I gotta go through this bullshit. Why? Because it's the whole perception and shit. Like, okay, you just like everybody else. That's how we gonna look at you. Woo, woo, woo. You running that crowd. Woo, woo, woo. No, that's not even a thing. And then when I make the positive post for my women, ain't no likes from the women who always on my posts grilling the hell out of me. Why don't you make some positive posts about black women? Why you always don't do? I'm not going outside of my race. Like, no bullshit. I'm just gonna be 100 about that. All right. I'm not going outside of my race. My sisters, y'all the only way to go. For me, because I want something looking like me coming out of you. You know what I'm saying? I want my junior to be looking like me, or my little daughter, you know what I'm saying, have your little features with my mindset or something.
Right.
Like something.
Right.
Like, I'm not going outside. I'm not no passport bro, none of this other shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm a down rider. But my whole thing is, why is it a problem for our sisters to check the other sisters who fucking it up for y'all? Because y'all don't understand. These chicks fucking it up for y'all. And all we try to do is bring up those chicks who fucking it up for y'all, But y'all getting mad at us for us bringing it to y'all face and y'all cussing us out. Talking about all you doing is no, I'm degrading the chicks that you don't even fuck with. Because I'm not, at the end of the day, every female, hey, at the end of the day, every female know it's a whole group or a whole selection of females that they don't even fuck with at all.
I think it's
I don't want you around my man. I don't want you around certain people
It's the energy.
or whatever else.
So
Like it's simple as that. I'm
right.
like,
But and that's what it is. I think and that kind of brings me to my next point is gender roles and protection. And the gender roles and the protection that basically comes from literally, and I sat in the bed one day and I thought about this and I said, you know, since the beginning of time, men's role has been to protect a woman.
mm-hmm.
His role has been to protect his family.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the corner store a couple days ago or a couple weeks ago. And there were two guys and they were sitting there talking. Why they were talking about this in the corner store, I have no clue, but it was absolutely weird. And they started to talk about how women wasn't shit. They started to talk about how you know, women this and women that and women this and women that. As I'm sitting and I'm looking at these two men who I'm 41 years old, they were probably older than me, sit in the corner store as they were purchasing liquor at 12 noon.
Oh, that's too early.
And I started to look at them. I mean, because sometimes I like a little vodka in my coffee. I ain't tripping.
You don't
However,
it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
I do.
Oh, come on. Sis.
There are times. But when you know, I sat and I looked at them and I said to myself, you're this is probably one of the reasons why she left you, bro. This right here, like literally, like they were like stumbling. And so I couldn't help myself. And those who know me, who really know me, I don't have a filter, and I have a problem with just keeping my tongue or my mouth to myself. And I said to them, I said, y'all are really weird. I said, how is it possible, or how is it okay, or what makes it okay for you to be sitting in this store talking about the very women that you claim to love? The very women that you claim that, oh, you know, they the best, da, 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 da. But you're talking about women, and I get it. I understand. There's some shitty ass women out here. Trust me. I absolutely understand. But you know, I'm thinking about the gender roles. I'm thinking about, you know, when we talk about dating and we talk about who's the person that's supposed to be shooting the shot, which I don't mind shooting my shot. Because if you cute,
See,
you can get it.
I can't.
Not just like that, but you know what I'm saying. Like
my sis, ever since high school, no bullshit.
Yeah, I don't have no
she
problem.
She told
with
me
that.
literally, I'm gonna holler at your boy.
I don't have a problem with that. You know, it comes with the territory. But there's a lot of women who don't have the same. They don't have the same mind thought process. They don't have the, you know. And then you have the gender roles, and you talk about protection. And some of these posts that I read, and I think this is my biggest thing, is that as a Black woman, I don't feel protected. I don't feel
why.
I don't feel that
why you don't
that
feel
it's
protected?
because you know why? Because I've seen a post, and maybe I just need to stay the fuck off of social media. But I've seen the post where somebody was saying something about protecting Black women. And there were multiple men. And I'm not talking about people like shares, and you know how you share and you look at the comments and stuff like that. I'm talking about people that are within this city saying, why I'm gonna protect her? That ain't my woman. She ain't did shit for me. She ain't da-da-da-da. Like, what type of shit is that?
You know what?
Like, how? That ain't my mama. That ain't my sister. That ain't my. So you mean to tell me that if you see a Black woman who is getting hurt or whatever the case may be, you are not, your inclination is not to protect her? wow.
Ooh, it's
So
sad.
it made me sad.
I'm gonna let you go ahead. See.
Go ahead.
No, it's so sad because it's like you said, they only feel like you have to be related or like in a relate, they got to be boning you. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? For them to protect you. And it's like, why not have they? Because I know with my kings, my black kings, I'm gonna do what I can.
Every man is not a king.
You know what I mean? But listen though, if you and you don't know that until you get to know that person. But on the surface, I see a black man and I'm gonna assume you're a king until you show me otherwise.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So okay, I feel like I have the responsibility as a queen to protect my queens. So I would never let anyone just watch someone disrespecting one of my kings, whether I know them or not. And it's sad that our kings don't have the same energies towards us because
Really?
it's like they don't. And it's
No.
like I have to be screwing you in order to protect you. Because you know, and I've had, I
Okay.
mean, even guys that, I mean, it's sad to say, but there's people that, you know, I have
Hey, Niecy.
interacted with or whatever, and that still didn't have that same energy.
Yep.
Like, I don't got to protect you. I
Yeah.
don't like you that much, or I don't know you like that, or I don't. And that's why.
Mhm.
Why don't black men see all black women as queens, even if until they prove them otherwise?
That's
Just
why
like-
we can't see every black woman as queens. You
But-
gotta prove yourself first.
But what?
You know, it's you just not finna get no queen level out the gate just because you just a black
And I
woman.
don't mean
And-
going out of your
The
way
same
and
way
get
how
on your
supposed
in your
people
out
do.
of
They
your
gotta show
pocket
you
and everything
something,
like
right?
that.
Am I right or wrong?
But no, with black men, I'm gonna assume you're a king until you show me otherwise.
No, you're
Well,
not supposed to do that.
So here's the
You're
thing.
giving too much grace to too
So-
many people for no reason.
So
And then
here's the thing.
that's why a lot of
I
relationships
agree
go
with
bad.
Shelton. I agree with
That's
To
why
an-
a lot of
to an
relationships go
extent,
bad.
I agree with him all wholeheartedly.
That's why a lot
First-
of relationships
yeah.
go bad.
I
'Cause
mean,
you
to an-
giving him the grace that you were king. Like, no,
Okay, but
did he
I mean,
earn
on
the
a-
right to being the king to
on
you
a
in your
on a
eyes?
surface level though. On a surface level, I
No.
don't mean going out of your way and doing this. I mean, I don't mean like that.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong. Like, oh, every man, no, every man not a king. No, every man don't deserve all
You-
your
you're not
all.
gonna, you're not gonna be my queen until you my
But
wife.
you're saying going into
That's
it
A
as
respect level.
Y'all do this
Okay.
shit dating.
Tone,
Like this why the dating game
A
is
respect
horrible.
level though. A respect level.
This why
That's
the
what I
dating-
mean though.
Hey,
A respect
Is
level.
very,
but
respect
a
is
res-
very,
but
very
I
intricate.
think it's
That
subjective
is very
because me personally, I don't want you. Don't call me queen. I never
Do
professed to
say,
be.
baby.
I never professed to be a queen. Quite honestly, if I was living back in the day, I would probably be a harlot because I loved it.
Oh Lord,
You
Jesus.
are a terrible human.
I'm up here with my sister, and she over here talking this shit. You see what I'm talking about?
My mama gonna see this shit like,
Hey, you see what I'm talking about?
I'm sorry, mama.
Mama,
However,
hit her across the forehead with the belt.
You know what?
or the slipper.
But I'm glad you said that because that leads into how to wrap that whole thing up.
mhm,
Respect is earned, not given.
mhm.
It's really hard.
Okay.
It's hard.
So when we come into spaces, whether man, woman, black, white, green, whatever, the energy that I give from the person across from me determines the energy that I give to you. I may want to come in with the concept of respecting you as who you are, but if you're not projecting, showing respect for yourself, I can't look at you at the same level that you want me to look at you.
I can't do shit.
And a lot of times today's society, the generations below us, and hell, let's be honest, the generation above us, they don't give the
They
same respect
failed
right
us.
away.
Mhm.
So you have some people who grew up in a world where children were to be seen, not heard. Therefore, our voices don't mean nothing. But yet you want us to give you respect when you never respected us to begin with.
Right.
At all.
You also
Right.
have households where an individual is missing, which changes the perspective of how they perceive people.
Mhm,
We also have a society that's hypersexual
mhm.
as well as money driven.
Talk about it.
So when you use these outsourced sources as your motivation, as men, sometimes it is difficult for us to protect our women because the minute we step up to you, you look at us like, why are you here?
Exactly.
I've had personal situations where I've seen a woman being treated unfairly, and I step in because I have two daughters,
Mhm.
and I would want someone to do the same thing for me. But when I step in to handle you, first words out of your mouth is, "Nigga, I didn't need your help."
Exactly.
But
You
guess
don't
what will
need
happen?
me.
But guess what will happen with me
You
the
don't
next
need
time I
me.
see anybody in that situation? I'm going to be a little less more cautious about stepping in.
Mhm.
We live in today's society where gender roles are a thing, but independency is also a thing. So you can't expect for me to play a part that was created by our parents when you're not even in the same mindset that our parents used to be in. Men being the protector was given because women were not allowed to be in the same spaces. So that man's job was to make sure that woman was taken care of because society wouldn't let her take care of herself. Now we live in a world where we are perceived as equal. Let me make sure
we're not equal.
We're supposed to be perceived as equal, but we
We'll never
also
be
see that
equal.
you guys grow through the same disparities as even back then. Wages are not equal, opportunities are not equal. So when men, and I want to specify, I say men because niggas
Two different
and
things.
boys,
Two different
Absolutely.
things.
Whole
man.
nother
I
category.
swear to God,
majority
promise.
of the time when women are complaining about things men do and don't do, they're talking about niggas. Okay?
Facts.
Niggas and nigga mentality. Okay?
Whoa.
Real men, 97% of the things that you women complain about men don't
Don't
do,
got nothing to do with
it
us.
doesn't matter to us. Okay?
And we're like, what is you complaining about?
So when you see men complain about things women do, y'all get defensive because you know that as a man complained about something y'all doing.
Which is
Not
disrespectful to a
niggas.
woman.
Which
And
is,
now we now degrading a black woman.
right. See, because a black man
We
will
have no voice.
recognize
We have
a
no
black
voice.
woman who is on her shit and honor that. Because if you on
We
your
love
hustle, we want you.
We love it.
Because you want to know why we want you? Because whatever we're doing, you're going to help us do it better.
Thank you. Thank you.
So that
Thank you,
that was
Tom.
I got your back. I just had to find my spot.
that was a beautiful
Thank
that
you,
was a
Tom.
beautiful monologue.
Yes.
Let me put a little
Thank you,
sound to
Tom.
it. That was a beautiful
Where the clapping
monologue.
emoji shit at?
I
Right there.
love
That's
it,
what we
and I
need clapping for.
absolutely
But we're here to talk about nigga shit, though.
Yeah.
Right. But no, I absolutely agree with everything that you said. Like I said, for one, I don't like the hey, good morning, queen. I take it and I don't, I don't be like, ew, even though in my head I'm kind of like, because I feel like all men just woke up one day and had a group chat and was like, hey, we gonna text them good morning, queen.
Hey, females do the same
Yeah, I don't.
shit. You rare.
And see,
You
I'm
would
so
do
tired.
it. You would do it for the ones you want to do it for.
Exactly.
Y'all, women get upset at the good morning queens when
You know
one,
everybody
it's
ain't like
empty,
you.
or two, it's not from somebody
now
you want to
I
entertain.
will say that as far as like if we compared it to a dick pic, because a dick pic,
Lord Jesus.
if it
Niggas
was
sitting
somebody
sitting
that I
down
wanted
dick pics.
to get, oh baby,
Niggas
y'all
still
are
sitting
so
down dick
easy. Oh, y'all are so easy.
Oh, we
Yeah,
ain't
we're-
easy.
No,
y'all
no,
are
we're- no, we're
y'all
easy.
Y'all are dead ass.
I say it all the time. You
No,
make us a
you're-
meal, you rub our thighs, you can have the dick.
Absolutely. Let's
We ain't
not do.
easy,
No,
man. Hey,
no,
I'm
no,
fighting
no.
on that side of this. Hey,
No,
we
no,
ain't
no.
easy.
No,
I can't
let's
lie
not
to
do
you.
that.
I
Yes,
kick
let's not do
motherfuckers
that.
out the house,
Oh
nigga.
God, oh God, because I literally had
I'll
somebody
kick 'em
tell
out.
me, "Oh,
Fuck
I almost
that.
sent you a dick pic," and I said, "Please don't do that."
Don't do that.
So then you commenced to send me
It's
a dick pic the next day, and I said, "Well, why did you do that? I didn't
can't
ask you to
defend
do
them
that.
dudes. I can't
What-
defend them dudes.
What did I give off?
I can't even defend
So
them.
What
make
did
it
I
a
give
thing.
off that made you thought that
I
that
can't
was
even
okay?"
defend
it's funny because
Because it happens.
it be in our head like
It happens. The same way
So-
our chicks send they pussy pics and all that, they playing with their coochie and all that shit. Hey, we get the same
some odd
shit.
reason this generation it's a form of communication. I don't know
Like,
why.
it's the same
But
shit.
you know,
It's wild.
It's very wild.
It's
It's
a
very
wild
wild.
world.
Cause I'm just like, okay, dude. Like
I
I
got
told
plenty
you,
in my inbox right now. I can pull up right now. I will show you down there 17 chicks who playing with their pussy. Right
Oh
in
my God.
my goddamn
nobody gonna
inbox.
show you they pussy. Anyway,
Right in my inbox.
that brings
Personal
me
shots.
to the next topic.
Okay.
And
Nasty.
it's dating.
You
So
nasty,
it
you
is.
nasty.
Let's talk about dating. Because
Oh,
this
shit.
is usually how it happens, the men versus the women. And like I said before, a lot of the men that I have seen where they put those posts up, they have these. I'm gonna tell y'all story time. So
Here we go.
I, after a couple, I gave myself a minute, but for dating, and I started back dating, and I said, I want to get my booty rubbed again. I miss getting my booty
Oh
rubbed.
Lord Jesus.
Um,
I'm gonna hear my sister. I don't like.
I'm
this
just
song.
saying,
I knew I
I
signed up with
I
the
miss
wrong
getting my booty
podcast
rubbed.
on the wrong day. You know what I'm saying?
So I
God
decided,
damn.
I said, let me go ahead and come on, get back out here.
Oh,
So
no
what
brother
I
wanna hear
did
this
was I got on a dating site.
Oh Lord.
How was that?
Jesus. Dating sites.
So
oh, Lord Jesus. When everybody
the
desperate.
men that I have been, I've met, and I'm not even gonna say, like, there's one in particular guy that I still talk to that he's like, he literally has the number one spot. Just because we vibe, just because we chill, we cool. Will there be a relationship that'll come out of it? Probably not. Am I okay with it? Absolutely, because I have now learned that for me in dealing with people, is to not put any type of expectation on a situation, regardless of whether or not it's a friendship.
Pour me some Monaco.
Oh,
Is
You
this
ain't
some
finna
more?
drink all that.
he had them. Regardless if it's a friendship,
drink
a
all that.
relationship, or whatever it is, to have no expectations. You know what I'm saying? So I'm cool with that. However, some of the guys that I have come across, they have been very inappropriate.
Mm.
Some of them they don't know what dating is. I've
don't.
even again seen these social media posts where it says, everybody's talking about applying pressure. And then somebody says, oh, well, why am I going to apply pressure? And she's talking to somebody else.
I don't get it.
Well,
I don't get it.
how do I
I
know
still
that you
still
like
want you to go
me if you don't apply pressure? And I'm not saying,
Sweat
excuse me,
them,
Lord.
or-
I'm not saying that that you have to spend $200 on a date, that you have to, but what makes you think? First of all, you awakened me. You hopped into my inbox.
Exactly.
You came at me. You disrupted my peace.
Right. You shot
Okay.
your shot.
You shot your shot. Again, I have no problem with shooting my shot. I shoot my shot.
You never did.
I
She
never did, and I never
She
failed.
never did.
It
No
never
bullshit.
failed.
She got a great
Like, come
ratio.
on.
When I shoot my shot, baby, it
She got a
always
great
lands.
Baby,
ratio.
the ball
I
always
might as
goes
well
in.
dunk on
And
that
that's what we
shit.
tell a lot of women.
Damn.
We
You
tell a
know?
lot of women all the time,
Um,
shoot your shot.
Yeah, I have no
Do
problem.
you
with
not
shooting my
understand
shot.
how easier it'll make your
Um,
life?
I'm a woman that has no problem with going out to a bar by myself. I have no problem with doing any of that because I'm confident in the woman that I am and what I bring to the imaginary table, because it's the whole fucking table.
Come on.
Oh,
You know,
Lord Jesus.
However,
What is the table?
I don't say. I'm just
Hold on,
saying.
no,
We'll
talk about that.
Metaphorical
Time out.
No.
Time
Wait,
out.
just wait a minute. I'm
Time out.
saying that as like.
What is the table?
Well, I don't
Because
know.
I'm getting sick
Don't
and tired of
ask
everybody
me,
always talking about
because
this table shit.
this is what niggas
What
have,
is the
have
table?
started to say.
What is the table?
Tone?
What is the table?
The table in the long term, from what I've gathered,
The table is the relationship.
exactly is the relationship.
It's the
what,
relationship.
What do you
So
bring
if
in
you-
the wholeness of
if
the
any-
relationship?
If a woman actually literally gonna say, "I am the table," so you literally saying that you are the relationship.
We
So
be
everything got to
we
do
be the table
on,
though.
on all you.
We be the table,
only
the
you,
plates, the
and
cups. We be the
that's
whole
it.
table. We be the table.
Ain't got nothing to do with me.
But listen to
got nothing to do with me.
listen to what both of y'all just said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
See how they
Number
argue
one.
that?
Number one, you're 100 from 100 for shooting,
Mm-hmm.
because the number one thing that a man loves is to know that whatever he's doing is not in vain.
Mm-hmm.
That's why most of us don't like dating a woman who's also dating other guys, because as much effort as we're putting in, how can you give us the same 100% we're giving you if you're entertaining 3 other people? You can't. At the end of the day, no matter what I do with you, subconsciously you're comparing it to the other 2.
Facts.
So I can be doing the best that I can do with you. I am literally doing everything for you, announcing you, letting you know, basically loving you out loud. Sum it up in a nutshell. Okay.
Facts.
But because guy number 2 did this for you at the right time, he gets a little bit more of your attention. Hold on. I'll get to you in a minute. Because I got some questions for you just in general. Nothing bad, just got some questions
Right.
for you. Okay.
Go ahead.
So you're always going to be successful because as men, we know you like us. Okay. So now I know you like me. I don't have to put restraints. I don't have to be at home on a Tuesday when I call you when you don't answer. Damn, she out with that other nigga. You know, we don't have that doubt or conflict because you said, hey, I like you. I want to get to know you better. Cool. We here. I'm locked in on you. No doubt. Okay. No doubts whatsoever.
Okay.
Now, this table shit, I'm with him on that. I fucking hate that.
Mhm.
Okay. Because the concept of the table is supposed to be the relationship.
Mhm.
But
That's the
when the
relationship.
response for the woman is, I am the table, I bring this, I bring that, then the question becomes, then why do I need to date you?
So
The purpose of the table is
So you're not
everybody
bringing nothing.
bringing something to eat.
So you're not bringing nothing.
Right.
mhm.
So that means that whatever I bring, because you have already stated that you fulfill everything, you have in so many words told me that I have no value to you.
Mhm.
So why am I here?
And I
So
will eliminate
so
myself
when I
real
I
quick.
said that I am the table, that is my response to somebody asking me that question because I in fact hate that question.
I
as
hate that
well.
question too.
I hate that question.
But
as
you know what
well.
I do when I
don't.
hear that
love
question?
I
but,
love
but
that
when I
question.
say it, but when
That
I say
question
that
real.
I am the table,
That question real.
me saying I am the table, what that means to me is that unfortunately, and this is just the way that it is, what you are going to bring to the relationship, it's going to be extra.
See, and the thing about that question is I feel like that's a rhetorical question.
Talk it. Talk
And
it.
here's the reason why that's a rhetorical question.
I'm not finna be an
Because
asshole.
no two relationships are the same.
Mm-hmm.
So what you feeding into me and what I'm
Mhm.
feeding into you, it's not going to be the same thing that your baby daddy fed into you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be the same thing your first boyfriend fed into you. Not going to be what's the next person feeding into you.
Thank you.
But when you have that mentality where you're using that table concept,
Mm-hmm.
that means you're expecting a specific answer to be given for you to accept it.
Right.
And if I'm not giving you that answer, even though I'm giving you what you need
What you need
to feel complete,
Hold on,
whole, and
hold on,
healthy,
again.
but I'm not giving you
Hold
the
on.
answer you want, you'll
Say
throw
that
the whole
again.
concept away.
Say that again.
Mhm.
So that's always going to be a rhetorical question. Now, unfortunately, men are the first ones to ever ask that question.
I was just getting
Okay.
ready to say that. Y'all was
Mm.
the first one.
We are always the first one to
Because-
ask that question.
Because we are the gatekeepers of a relationship.
But
We are the gatekeepers of a relationship.
Since
the
we
gatekeepers in the sense of,
No, we are the gatekeepers of the
How?
relationship.
but women are the one that usually carry the
You know
relationship.
how many? No.
We do.
You know how many females who
Let's-
still be on our side that we don't even want to even fuck with.
let's stop right there.
That we don't even want to fuck with.
Mistake
on.
number one that's being made is everybody is saying we are this and we are that. If you're in a relationship,
It's
y'all
us.
both it's a us.
Mhm.
No, I'm not knocking on you.
And I agree,
you
but
just you make it easy for me to shoot the shots. That's all.
Oh, hey, hey, that nigga did that.
You make it easy for me to shoot the shots. No personal attack on you.
right.
But that's part of the problem right there. One of the biggest issues with that goes on with relationships and dating is there's too much finger pointing.
Yes.
There's too
Yes.
much of what I do, what you
Yes.
do, what we do, what you don't do. Well,
Mhm.
she did this and he did that. When we need more of what are we going to do together?
Mhm.
How are we going to make this relationship
Mhm.
work? I was talking to a young lady who was a very independent woman. I have this thing for entrepreneurs
No,
because
that shit
I'm an
crazy.
entrepreneur myself.
I'm happy
So
you
I
went
need
there.
somebody who's in the same position
happy
that
you
I'm
went
in
there.
to understand when I say I don't have it, even though I may have just gotten a $3,000 check from a project, she understands why I say I don't have it
Right.
compared to a 9-to-5er. Whereas, and if you got paid, oh, you ain't got it, that means you a broke nigga. No, I'm investing my money, so I'm not broke.
Mhm.
I just ain't got nothing to spend on you right now. It's a big difference. Okay.
Bitch.
It's a big difference. But the thing about her was when we were talking and getting to know each other and we were building, we were learning each other's flaws. And that's the mistake a lot of people don't. Nobody wants to share their flaws because nobody understands what their flaws are anymore. They are quick to say that relationship didn't work because of him or because of her, not
Right.
what you did to it. So as we're sitting here talking about our flaws and whatnot, I told her, Pete, you have all of this going on. You're starting a brand new business. You're taking care of your 2 kids on your own. I help with my kids. So I'm not in the same place as you. Here's what we'll do. You handle your business and I will handle you. That is the given in a relationship. You take care of your house and home and I take care of you. So the minute that you're burnt out, you're tired, you're exhausted, you need a shoulder to say, hey, I don't want to do this no more. Let's do this. I can't do this. That is my job at that point. So that's where the proverbial table conversation needs to be changed, because I'm an entrepreneur too. There's going to be days where nobody's recorded for a whole 2 to 3 months and I got to figure out how these bills are going to get paid. I need her to turn around and do the exact same thing I did for her.
Right.
You got all this equipment. You can go do personals. You can go do weddings. You can do this. You do that. Your goal is to make sure that when I'm down, you get me the way I need to get up and vice versa. Most people this day and age look for help, not love.
Not help.
And that's actually me and my friend, we were having a conversation. And basically that was some of what he was saying, as to, why he doesn't want to be in a relationship any longer, or he has no desire to be in a relationship. He says, because he believes that the majority, when you get into a relationship, he says that women tend to change. He says that any relationship that he has been in, women have basically become, someone that wants help. It doesn't end up being, it's never like 50-50. For me, I don't believe in 50-50. I don't believe that any relationship will ever be 50-50. I believe that it's impossible for it to be 50-50.
Right.
I strongly believe that in a relationship, like Tone said, it's us. It's not you. It's not me. So basically, anything that I am lacking as my man, that is where you step in.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Anything that my man is lacking, I'm going to step in. If that comes in, if that has to be financially, mentally, or emotionally, that's my cue. It's my time to shine, to actually step in and say, boom. Not only that, in a relationship, I'm looking for those things purposely that disrupt my man, that make my man not feel as though he's my man or he's the man or whatever the case may be. So my purpose in the relationship is to soothe you.
Yeah.
It's to make you feel at peace.
Right.
If whether that be doing what I do in the bedroom, which very well.
Look, come on.
This is when I gotta get my quiet.
Whether
Shut
that
up.
be
That's all I got to say.
look, we're gonna have an episode about sex and
This is when I gotta get
Nobody
my
want to
quiet.
hear you talk about your vagina.
hey, I got a whole
Hey.
new one.
This is when
That's
I
not
gotta
it.
get my quiet storm on real quick.
But no, whether it be mentally, emotionally, or physically, I feel like that is a woman's that's my job.
Talk your
That's
shit,
my
B.
job as a woman to make sure that you're fed.
Talk your shit,
That's
B.
my job as a
Yes.
woman to make sure that when you come home from work, guess what? You're able to relax.
Mhm.
You have food ready for
Come on.
you. You have a blowjob if you need it.
Come on.
And
Talk to
at
me.
the end of the night, you're gonna have some good sex and you're gonna be able to
You
go to bed.
goddamn
Come on.
right.
And then we're gonna get up and we're gonna go and we're gonna do it again.
Yeah.
And I think that's
You
what makes
goddamn right.
a man, if you don't quit, that's what makes a man really want to be in a relationship. Not to say that that's gonna stop a man from cheating, because a cheater is a cheater,
Right.
is a cheater
Lord,
is a
see,
cheater all
you
day.
just went
No,
back
no.
there. Hold on. No,
No,
we
no,
just
no,
went back
no,
there.
No, I'm talking.
Hold on. No, we
I'm
just
talking-
went back to that shit. See what I'm saying?
How did I-
It's always made to
talking
the
about
man
in-
being the cheater.
No, I'm talking
No.
in general.
A cheater
In general,
is
a
a
cheater.
That's not in general.
I'm talking
Everybody
about a
cheats.
cheater. No,
Women
everybody
cheat more than
don't.
men.
But okay, listen, calm down. First of all,
Women cheat more than men.
Calm down. I'm not talking about a man.
Can we be
a
1,000
man-
about this?
Shelton. I'm not talking about a man being an actual cheater versus a woman being cheat. That's not what I'm not right now. I'm not talking about men versus women. Women cheat, men cheat. In my conversation, I'm never just saying a man versus a woman or whatever. I'm saying in my relationship
Mhm.
Okay.
with a
okay.
man.
I'll get you on that.
Because a man he's gonna cheat regardless. A woman or a man is going to cheat if they want to cheat.
Mhm.
That's not gonna stop anybody from cheating.
That's
But
a shitty
my
individual.
right in my relationship, I try my best to make it so that you don't have to do that.
Same.
Exactly.
Same.
I don't want to stress you out.
Same.
I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to do none of that. Now, you know, at the same time, I need you to be able to do the same for me because reciprocation is key.
Definitely.
And if you're not reciprocating, then there is an issue.
Mhm.
And you reciprocating what I'm doing, it may not be in the same way that I'm doing it. That's what a lot of people don't understand.
That's beautiful.
And this is the main fact
Hold on.
that I think that a lot of people
No.
need to pay attention to is the way that you just thought about that. A lot of people don't think that way.
I know. I'm a unicorn out
And
here.
my point exactly.
Okay.
If you're a unicorn, that means it's very rare.
Mhm.
That shit is very rare in our community.
You know
So
what?
that's
though?
not what's happening out here on the masses.
Mm-hmm.
So when a nigga like me make a post saying, man, fuck this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
These weak assholes, or whatever I may say, regardless of whatever postings you want to take that I said that y'all think that it was disrespectful, even though I don't think it was disrespectful. I just asked the question.
Mm-hmm.
And
So,
see,
Tiff,
you
go
said
ahead.
something. So,
So
the
it's like-
unicorns,
Hold on. Go ahead, Tiff.
the unicorns don't get enough respect out
Mhm.
here. I don't think
Hold on.
because
Before you go in on that,
Unicorns get much love.
here's the thing. He got a point. Y'all are actually loved and respected because
Facts.
97% of the time when a man is going off about a woman, it's because he's comparing them to y'all. He's comparing them to the women that he know. A man who actually goes online, and not the he-man woman hating ones.
Because
Because
they out there.
them niggas just got mommy issues and they just mad at the world. Okay. So I just get like we're not talking about them because I know
Right.
I know
That's
folks
not-
will be like,
that's
but
not even
these
talking
niggas, no,
about
I'm just not talking about them. But the actual men who complain about women, like her friend who doesn't want to date no more because the dating game is not the same. It's because we know what good women look like.
Mhm.
Whether we
Right.
date a good woman and we fumbled the ball, or she decided to go back to a no good nigga because history is more important than love, whatever the case may be, we know what a good woman looks like, and we know how to experience a good woman. So when we realize that when we're out here dating and we have a lot of women who have the facade of pretending to be a good woman when
Mhm.
they really not, or they think that the basic necessities of survival makes them better,
No.
we get upset about them.
Mhm.
Okay. So it's not that we don't care about y'all. We know y'all exist. We don't have to praise y'all because a good woman already knows she's a good woman. Should we praise y'all more? Most definitely. And usually the man that has a good woman does a great job of doing that. Okay.
Facts.
sometimes.
So and that's what somebody
No.
just put that
I've
the
experienced.
unicorns out here that
Really?
we and Vicky
You wanna see
thank
what
you
I'm
so
getting?
much for joining. She said that the unicorns out here are loved and respected after the fact. After the fact of you fucking up. After you've come to get a bitch who ain't worth shit.
All right. So
Which
let's-
can be said for men as well.
okay. So
Oh, Lord Jesus.
you and your kids,
Mhm.
Thank you.
okay, and you go into
Thank you
the
for talking.
go into the kitchen for the very first time, and your mom turns the oven on. Your mom tells you don't touch it, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And this is
still gonna touch
one or
that
two
motherfucker.
kids, they won't touch it. Mom said don't touch it. We ain't gonna touch it.
Mhm.
But there's always that one naughty-headed little nigga
Who's still gonna touch
who
that
has to
motherfucker?
touch it to realize fire is hot. And usually when he burns his hand, he's the loudest person in the house at that moment, right?
Oh shit!
He's screaming, he's yelling, he's complaining, his hand, and then you got to hear him moan and whine about the fact that he now has this blister on his hand and he can't touch stuff for a while, right? It's the same thing about when you have something good. You don't realize what good looks like until you experience bad. You don't realize that the woman that you had satisfied every single need because you only focused on the things that she wasn't doing. That when you get back out here in the real world and you realize these hoes ain't shit, you want your family back, kind of a situation.
Let me interject.
And the problem with that is with social media now, it's easier for that man to whine and complain and cry and fuss about the fact that he lost a good woman than it is for one who knows how to get his woman back. Because the one who knows how to get it back, he ain't wasting his time out here telling social media he fucked up.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. Like we see that all the time. Like y'all telling us y'all fucked up. Like fam. Like you don't. Like I saw somebody. And I don't know who this person really just makes my ass itch. Like literally, like this guy, and I'm not even gonna say his name, but he literally makes my ass itch every single time. This man really sat up and said, "Cause I pay for dates $100 to $400 in dates, and then find out 6 months later that she don't like me like that, Bro, do you hear what you saying? Seriously. She probably never liked you like that, and then you
Two
probably
things.
you are not.
Two
you don't
things.
have enough player in you to even realize.
Two things happened. One, he has a particular type, and his particular type are the ones that are usually fascinated by financial things, spending money.
Right.
Okay. And usually when they're like that, they only see you as a payday. Okay.
No.
Two,
No.
he also realizes that a lot of women are very transactional.
Very.
Okay. Meaning that there's a price for the pussy.
That's it.
Okay. So he's spending
No
that price for
bullshit.
that pussy. Now he wants to keep this, and he wants this to be his main
I don't want to
situation.
That, but I have to.
And in 6 months later, he finds out that cashing out didn't cash in.
I really feel like men.
You can be mad.
Hey,
As a woman, you can be mad all you want
she
to.
click that button like a motherfucker. Like,
You can be mad all you want to, but honestly, it's true.
Look, I
It's
really
actually
feel like
true.
men are in
That's
their
a fact.
own way.
That's a fact.
As far as finding
Come
that
on, 'cause
person.
we ain't had you.
They're in their own way, because I feel like even when they meet a unicorn and it's like, okay, they still have the old bitch in their head, like, well, she gonna do this and she gonna do that and she did this
No,
and
we
she
don't.
so yeah, I've experienced it. Where it's like, okay, because they've had bad relationships in the past, they assume that I'm going to do that, so they bring it to me.
Or just even have their whole mindset.
Yes, their whole mindset is based on the fact that, oh, well, this bitch hurt me, so this how you gonna be. So they give me this attitude based on the old bitch, and it's like I'm nothing like
Alright.
that.
And
I hate to
That's
I hate to do this because I just said about the finger point.
Women.
Women do the same thing too.
they do.
We do.
Okay.
I'll admit that we do.
We do that. And take in consideration, a lot of men this day and age are raised by women. Let's hold
I
on.
ain't saying
Hold on.
not
Wait a minute.
goddamn
Hold
word.
on. Wait a
So
minute.
y'all
Let's
out
back-
here just zesty them up.
Hold on.
Y'all
Let's
just
back
out
this
here
up.
zesty them
Let's
up.
back this up. Let's back this up real quick.
What I said.
Let's back this up real quick. First and foremost,
This
I'm
ain't none
only
of me.
speaking in the Black community.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me make sure I clarify this. I'm only speaking within the Black community because I don't date outside my race too. I will never date a white woman because I can't trust y'all as far as I can throw y'all.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Okay.
I can't do
I
this
won't do that.
because
It's my network. I can say that. It's my network. I can say that.
They will set you up in a heartbeat. Oh
It's
my
a-
God.
Whatever you want to.
Ooh.
'Cause
But-
I'm not.
Baby.
I'm
But-
not.
But
They will set you up.
but in the same breath, we have to be honest here. A lot of our African American men are raised in single mother households.
True.
So a lot of behaviors are picked up by what their mothers do.
Mhm.
Because as much as we sit here and we tell them a woman can't raise a son to be a man,
Mhm.
that does not mean that they do not pick up behaviorisms of their mother.
Right.
And I'm not just talking about the zestiness that's going on
Right,
out
right.
here.
That's your
But
fault.
traits
That's
and-
different. I'm talking about the mentality.
Mhm.
That's your fault.
Mostly the mentality, the cattiness, the
That's-
pillow talking, the
that's your fault.
backstabbing,
That's
the
your fault.
using. A lot of that stuff does get picked up based on behaviors that they see other
That's your
women
fault.
do.
That's
And
your
I'm not
fault.
blaming moms for this, but at the same time, I'm holding moms accountable for these men as well too, because you do have a lot of mama boys.
Mhm.
Yep.
So when they go out here and they start dating or they're looking to date, first thought is, I want a woman like the woman I've been around, because this is all I
Hell
know. So the first thing they do is they look for a woman like their mother.
Hell.
Okay.
Subconsciously.
Subconsciously.
Hell no.
Yeah, they do.
No, I'm not finna agree with that, fam. I don't want nobody like my mama.
I mean, it may not be,
It may not be
But-
specifically
but
your mama,
subconsciously,
but
yes.
subconsciously you want
Subconsciously.
traits. You want traits from your mother. Believe it or
I
not.
Subconsciously,
hated
Because
my
women-
lifestyle, fam, growing
because-
up, fam.
Subconsciously, yeah.
Because women, there's girls
I
want
hated
men
my
like they
lifestyle,
father.
bro.
Have you ever noticed that a girl who has a father in her life don't take shit? Because if their father was
Yeah.
active right,
And
their
guess what?
father made sure certain
Hold
parameters
up. And guess
were
what they ride with?
always provided with.
Hold up. Hey, this one key factor right here. Women always talk about, hey, my daddy did this, so this is the upper echelon. So if you can't compare it to my daddy, ain't no way in here I'm gonna ever submit to a man who can't compete to what my daddy did for me.
Now, I hear what
Am I lying or what?
I hear what you say, and that is correct.
Am I lying or
But
what?
but look at
But
the
guess what?
perspective.
On the switch, hold on. On the switch, let a man talk about what his mama did for him. Oh, you a mama's boy, but you a daddy's girl. It ain't no difference though, right?
It ain't, but you have to
It
look
ain't
at the
no difference
you have to
though,
look at
right?
the perception. One, a girl
Don't
father
nobody see
is
the
her
difference
provider.
in that shit?
Hold
I'm
on.
telling you, in the eyes of the father to the daughter, the father showed a representation of what protection looks like, what
Yeah,
stability
goddamn
looks
right.
like.
That's it.
Okay,
Goddamn right.
That's
And
it.
what the woman supposed to do?
a woman shows nurturing.
Mhm.
Thank
It
you.
brings out your sensitivity,
So if
your
you ain't-
emotions.
So if you ain't
A
loving
lot of
me-
women are not ready for a man. As much as they want a man to be open and honest with them. A
Mhm.
lot of women are not prepared for a man to unpack on them.
Mhm.
And this is why I say that one big piece that was from Mike Tyson and Boosie. That one shit that they had when he was talking to Boosie that one day, he was like, dude, your mama love you because it's about your survival. Any woman that you fuck with, it ain't about her survival, nigga. She living off of her survival, nigga. So she living off of you. So you never gonna have no unconditional love. She ain't gonna never love you the same way that your mama love you, my nigga.
So I feel like, because I'm
Hey, but at the same time, we look at women because we know how you was raised by your daddies. And we grown up. Hey, we was raised off of, all right, that's what it is.
I want to hear
Okay,
what she has.
boom.
to
Yeah,
say.
go ahead.
so look,
Like that's what it is.
so I'm a certified
Like
daddy's
we
girl.
100.
Okay.
Okay.
I can
Uh-huh.
tell.
I'm a
Hold on.
certified daddy's girl. My daddy my daddy passed 11 years ago though, right?
Mhm.
So, but I'm a certified daddy's girl.
Well,
And I think that
right there with
the reason, because I had such a great relationship with my father and because he was everything and he was a superhero in my eyes, that's why I have such a high respect for men, right? So I base most men on the fact that, okay, well, until you show me that you crazy or until you show me something different, I'm going to have an utmost respect for them.
Okay.
And so that's what I take into concept when I say, like in the beginning, when I was saying
Mhm.
how, you know, how like respect is earned and this and that
Right.
or whatever. I have the mentality that, okay, well, you're a man. And until you show me that,
You
you
a
know,
nigga.
something negative,
Right.
I'm going to have a respect for you just because of what I seen and what I was raised around.
And-
Mhm.
So
and that is, and that is the thing
lying or
you're
not?
supposed to have. That's the thing you're supposed to have. If parenting is done proper, you should always go into every situation with an utmost respect that this woman is going to be a respectable woman. This man is going to be a gentleman. There are standards and gender roles
levels to
in
this shit.
dating that should be the precipice of how the relationship should
It's
be.
levels of this shit.
Unfortunately, we don't have everybody in the households that are having these conversations.
Right.
We
right.
don't have people in the household that are there
Levels of this
to
shit.
properly raise our children. Because when you're in a single parent household, either because the father is not there, because once again, we're talking about the Black community,
Mhm.
regardless of why the father is not there, whether he was not prepared to be a dad, you gave him an out, the government gave you more money, the system got a hold of him,
Man, fuck this shit, man.
you
We
were
finna
a
keep
side
this shit
chick and got
100.
knocked up. Let's keep
They
this
fuck-
multiple
they-
different.
They fuck with the nigga who they want to fuck with because that nigga was the motherfucking most swaggish, outdated, out here looking all
Whatever.
clean as motherfucking as money green and shit. Hey, that's the
Whatever.
reason why they fuck with that
It
nigga,
is
fam.
true.
Colors
It's
of
possible.
Can we be 100 about this shit?
It's true. It's true.
Can
They,
we be 100 about this shit? Hey, we ain't finna sugarcoat shit.
I'm not sugarcoat.
Hey,
I'm just
we ain't
covering
finna
all
sugarcoat
aspects.
shit. Hey, like, come on.
Okay, we need everybody to be
I'm
able
just
to
saying. Hey, I'm
we
just
need
saying.
everybody to be respectful. I need
But we
you
gotta be 100
okay,
about
but
this.
calm down. Everybody needs to
Sheldon
have their
would.
own time.
Sheldon
to say
Hey,
would.
what
we
they
gotta
have
be
to say.
100.
Come on now. Go ahead, Tom.
Everybody ain't about
Shelton.
this you know what, I need to respect my woman on this show or note or whatever else, because majority of the women in the same way the majority of these weak ass niggas who I don't vouch for, they got the majority of everybody attention
Okay.
because they the most popular motherfuckers out here.
Okay.
Am I lying or what?
You got a point.
They are the most popular motherfuckers out here. So what's most popular is what's mostly cracking. So you're gonna go with what's mostly what's going off the dome. So if I want to be with a chick who I'm like, hey, you know what? I just want a chick who can be 100 with me. All I ask for is respect. Is that hard? Is that hard to ask for? Respect.
No. Go ahead, Tom.
I lost my thought.
Hey, but at the end, hey, but at the
I
end,
tried to be funny.
hey, but at the end of the
I tried
day,
to hold on to it.
hey, but at the end of the day, hey, respect is a hard ass motherfucking issue to come to, especially when we come to these issues when we talking about certain shit.
But
Because everybody feels some type of way because you said this about a woman, or you said this about a man, or you said this about this, or you said this about that. Like everything always come back to the equation.
right. Shell,
So how
Shell,
can we fix this shit?
Shell, we gotta let people get their thoughts out. Like I understand what you're saying. Like literally, even like people that's listening, like they like, come on, Shell, let them get his thought out. Like we gotta let people get their thoughts out. Just calm down, just a little bit.
Oh, Lord
I think you done probably done had a little bit too much.
No, I ain't had nothing yet.
Okay.
Hey, I'm been there ready to go across the street to the damn liquor store right now, nigga.
No, sir.
Hey, yes,
All
I
right.
am.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
So
go upstairs to the
that
goddamn
okay,
bar.
so that basically brings me to my last point. Is how can we heal? What is the end result? What is I want to know how can we as people, because when I look at these posts, I don't see necessarily white folks on social media dragging black and white and they
Or
men
dragging
and
they
they
own.
women.
I ain't gonna see.
I don't see I don't
seen a whole
see
post 2 days ago.
I don't see white people, white women dragging a men. I don't see white men dragging a women. And if they are, they're not doing it in the way that we are. They're not doing it as much as we are. So again, it is damaging to our community. I think that it is damaging to the whole thought process of love and relationships.
I'm sorry, big bro.
And-
I respect you.
No, you good, bro.
But can I say this real quick?
Hold on, this is my show.
All right, I'm letting you
Hold
go.
on.
I'm letting you go.
Hold on, Shell. Because I told you in the inbox, I told you we had to make sure
we're gonna be respectful.
Come on now.
We're gonna be respectful.
But where will we be able to get a understanding, and where and how will our community end up, because we have to heal. And I think there's a lot that's going on, that there's a lot of the songs that's being played, the
Mhm.
rappers, all of this good stuff. But the female rappers, that's no different than the men rappers back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Saying what they saying and doing what they doing.
It was female rappers back then too.
It was absolutely female rappers back then. It was absolutely female rappers back
Mhm.
then. But we have to understand, like, we have to stop getting to the point of saying the men versus the women.
Mhm.
There literally should not be. I mean, it's always going to be men versus women, because that's just
Battle of
the
the sexes.
it's just the battle of the sexes.
Mhm.
But we have to come to a point where we are not fighting each other,
Yeah.
and that we are absolutely we're actually listening to understand.
Okay.
The last relationship that I was in, it taught me a lot. The last relationship that I was in, I learned a lot as far as myself. I learned a lot as far as how to deal with men, how to love on a man that is damaged,
Mhm.
or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How to actually show them that they are loved. And from that, I always say that I really honestly believe that me loving him was not for me, it was for him.
Mhm.
Because in the end, he ended up passing away. So at the end of the day, he was able to feel and know that he was actually loved by a woman romantically. Not my mama, not my sister, not my auntie, not my, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
A
Mhm.
woman romantically that actually really loved me for who the fuck I was. No matter what drugs I was taking, no matter all of that. You know what I'm saying? So that was for him. That had nothing to do with me. So I think that there was a lot of selfishness that had to come out of myself. And even in me thinking about his death and how that affected me, the way that it made me feel better, and the way that I was able to actually kind of come to terms with that, was that thought, is that it was simply the love was for me, or I'm sorry, not for me, but it was for him.
Mhm.
So at the end of the day, like my wish and my thought is for everybody, whether it be my friends, families, my foes, fuck y'all. I mean,
Fuck
for
you,
real.
niggas.
But
Fuck you,
um,
niggas. Fuck you,
all right,
foes.
Deron, thank you. But definitely, like I said, whether it be my friends or my family, I would love for everyone to be able to love somebody wholeheartedly, unconditionally, not for yourself. Not for yourself. Again, not for yourself. Meaning that I don't want nobody to be no fool, because I think there was a lot of situations and circumstances that I kind of I had those rose-colored glasses on.
Same.
But if there's ever a way to do that without, which I believe that there is, to love somebody unconditionally with still putting your boundaries, still setting your boundaries, and still having a healthy relationship. That's something that I wish for everybody, to be able to love somebody just unconditionally, because it really gives you a whole different outlook on love.
It does.
It gives you a whole different outlook on just people in general and yourself. There's so many lessons that I learned from loving somebody.
Yes.
And not asking for anything in return.
Mhm.
Yes, you want reciprocation.
Yeah.
I got my reciprocation. It wasn't maybe in it wasn't always financially. It wasn't always, but I got my reciprocation.
Yep.
So to actually be able to know what that love is and how that love feels, again, that's something that I totally wish for everybody.
Mhm.
Because then I think that if you learn how to really love somebody, we wouldn't have a lot of this stuff out here.
Yes.
We
Yes.
wouldn't have a lot of this stuff out here.
And a lot of times just seeing them happy is the reciprocation.
Yes,
Mm.
absolutely.
Knowing that
Absolutely.
they, never got this before and they love and they're satisfied and they're healthy and they're
Yes.
happy and I had a part in that.
Because low key, I sit back and be like, ain't nobody love that nigga like I love him.
that.
Ain't nobody loved him like I loved him. And I know that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And that's something that I'm proud of.
Yeah.
So absolutely. I think that loving on people, and I think maybe we may just expand this series. Like I have a lot of stuff that I want to talk about because I be having stuff in my head and I be talking at home like,
talking to
girl,
myself, like,
yeah,
because-
like girl, this shit is crazy.
Yes.
But I think I want to expand on this topic and just maybe expand it to just love, just in general.
Mhm.
How can we show more love to people who not in a romantic setting?
Yeah.
Because maybe we need to start there.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to start loving
was-
people
I
in a
was getting ready to say
non-romantic setting.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that.
Mhm.
I got a 50-50 on this.
Mm-hmm.
One, I do feel like we can fix the situation, but two, the current generation is a wash. Okay.
Mm.
When you say current generation, what age group are you referring to?
30s and up. No, back it up. 28s and up.
28 and up?
28s and up is a wash.
You think so?
I know so.
Not 28 and down?
28 and up is a wash.
I think
I think
Here's-
I think so.
Here's the reason why I say
agree.
that. 28s and up, we have in most cases, have already made a large number of our mistakes.
Mhm.
Okay. To the point that we've made them. And because of the fact that they have been rewarded, we feel like that's the norm.
Mhm.
So to try to use the proverbial teach an old dog new tricks is going to be almost nearly impossible. It's going to be impossible to make the 28 and up generation feel that marriage is something worth striving for. Relationships is something that's good because we are now in a point where social media can adjust our narrative to be
Absolutely.
whatever we want it to be. If I want to push the agenda that polygamy is the way of life and is the best thing to be, and it can be the greatest way to fix all of our problems, I can easily go on social media and the use of Google and compile as much information that I want to make my narrative seem proper. Okay. Number two, we are just now learning as a Black community how to heal from generational curses,
Mhm.
mommy daddy issues,
Mhm.
and just simply being Black in America. We're just now learning how to do that. So the generation that's under 28, they now have someone to compare to. We didn't have nobody to compare to. Your 28 and up people are crack babies.
Yeah.
No knock on the actual crack babies themselves,
right.
but we've seen the era
Show
of,
y'all there.
but we know that 80s, early 90s life destroyed our Black foundation as a whole. Okay. So because we lived through that, it's hard for us to understand that there are things systematically put in place to make this not work.
Right.
Okay. And as long as those pieces are there and we have those things to fall back on, there's always going to be well, I don't need this. You got to think about it. There's women who come into adulthood with the mind state that the government got me, and I'm not going to deal with a man long term because you're going to hurt my financial situation. You have women who come into the household from the day that they were born to the day they turned 22 has been raised to never need a man for anything. So you can't expect the one who's been groomed to be independent to openly want to be in a relationship, because they will look at a man and be like, what can you do for me that I can't do for myself? Because we live in a hypersexual world, a man doesn't need a headache when $40 can get him head. Let's be honest here. So that's why I say 28 and up is done. we just gonna have to phase niggas out and let them get to that point when they tired of being whatever they be, and then finally want to settle down. But the 28 and younger, as we're healing ourselves, things like this podcast shows where there's actual conversation. That's the biggest thing. There's conversations now.
Right.
There's places where men can actually now express what they like and they don't like in an environment that's not immediately a finger point.
Right.
Well, we're talking men, whereas a man is telling what he wants in his woman and not being accused of nigga shit.
Right.
That's be the biggest problem. We will point out the worst case scenario as a defense of what we're asking for on a healthy level. We can make sure that those people get that. Number two, parents are now starting to be a lot more involved in what their kids do. We don't have to be at work 90 hours a week anymore. We can actually be home.
Right.
We can monitor our kids a little bit better now. We can have these. We need to have these conversations.
That's debatable.
You see what I'm saying? Now we know we need to have these conversations. So now we have a possibility of, because let's be honest, when you're in your 20s, you're supposed to do everything wrong. Okay?
Right.
Except
right.
fuck up your credit.
Right.
And even
Man.
that's another thing now. Financial stability is starting to become a thing in the Black community now.
Mhm.
So we don't need to rely on someone else to make our money. We can make our money on our own, which then change the necessity for someone to be here for them to be considered dateable.
So I heard Will Smith say something, right?
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
Let me hear what he got to say.
So
Will is actually smart.
that's bad.
He's very
That's bad.
That's
Wait,
Bay.
wait, hold
That's
on.
Bay.
Wait, hold on.
That's Bay.
That's bad. I love Will Smith.
Hold on.
Oh,
Hold
Lord,
on.
here you go. Here
Wait.
you go with that bullshit.
You gotta
All
watch
right.
not too much.
Oh.
Not too much on Will Smith.
But
Go ahead.
what did he say?
Go ahead.
Okay, look. So
Come on, Greek.
Will Smith, he was on I think it was David Letterman. He was on a talk show and he
Okay.
was interviewing whatever, and he said something that really stuck with me. And this was a while ago.
Okay.
This is before everything,
Pre-slap.
and, you know, all that.
Mhm.
Yes. And he actually said that there's a point in time when couples go through marriage counseling.
As they
Okay.
should.
And when you're in marriage counseling, and yes, you're trying to fix the issues that are at hand with your marriage, and there are some things that you want to discuss and everything. And there's a purging part of marriage counseling where all of the ugly is coming out, and you're discussing everything, and you're talking about what hurt you, and you're talking about what what needs to be fixed and everything, and you're discussing everything, and it feels ugly when you're getting all of the ugliness out, but you have to get it out in order to heal. And I really feel like that's where we are right now as a people and in our
Yeah.
community, where we're in like this marriage counseling kind of like phase where all of the ugliness is coming out. And it doesn't sound good to always hear that women ain't shit, and women y'all do this, and women y'all do this, and men do this, and men, and it's coming out, and we don't like to look in the mirror if what
Mhm.
we don't see is
Mhm.
pretty enough. You
Mhm.
know,
I
we
agree
want
with
we
that.
want the
I agree
reflection to
with
be
that.
beautiful.
I agree with
And
that
so when
fact.
we bring
Mhm.
things out, and it's like, okay, well, y'all do this and y'all do that.
Mhm.
And okay, yeah, there are some men who don't do that, who's gonna look at that like, wait a minute, hold on, no, I don't do that. And but there are some men
Yeah.
that do, and the men
Mhm.
that do it are usually the louder ones. That's like, hold on, but they don't like what they see when that reflection is brought to them. But in women too,
Women
Right.
do
in the
thing,
same
So-
boat.
so
we
the-
don't like to see that. Oh, women do them. We don't, that accountability
That's
factor
where I was getting ready
is
to say.
like, hold on. But in the same, yes, we eventually want to take accountability for it, but when we're hearing it, it doesn't sound good.
A lot of people
Nothing
don't-
sounds good.
a lot of people don't like to be criticized when they're doing their best that they can. That's a lot of people go into dating, going into relationship, doing the best that they can, wanting what they think it's supposed to be. The problem is somewhere between the 70s and the 80s, standardized dating went out the window.
Because everybody was on crack. That was when crack was introduced.
We're
No
not gonna
way.
blame it all on crack.
Yeah, we're not gonna blame it all
on crack, but-
That wasn't a whole situation.
Because
I'm-
crack is
but
whack. First
I'm
of
just
all.
saying.
But
I'm
no,
just saying.
no.
Yeah,
But
that
the
wasn't-
reason why I
It
said
plays a factor,
no,
though.
that plays a
In the
factor.
90s,
But
But
that was a
another
whole
thing that
different
plays a
scenario.
factor was open sexuality, and I'm not talking about LBGT kind of open, but whereas in liberating and being able to
They-
do
we
whatever
fucking,
you want.
we out here
Like,
fucking.
we out here
We
like
doing,
this.
we doing.
This hairy pussies for everybody kind of a situation. It was hairy in the
It
70s.
was.
It was
Oh, I
definitely-
remember watching the
Harry
pornos.
is
That-
dead.
hairy, nappy too. But that's that. Hold on, let's not get there because we can get off.
Nasty
I'm
motherfucker.
gonna lose my thought. But
Right,
you
right.
got to remember, prior to before that
Nasty
whole entire
motherfucker.
sexual liberation, there was a standardized way of dating.
Mhm,
If a guy liked a girl,
mhm.
he would tell the girl he liked her and then proceed to go to the father to ask for permission to date her.
Mhm.
He only focused on dating just that one girl.
Right.
He put his effort into that one girl. That girl would have told him before the first or maybe the second day whether or not this was somebody you were even interested in to begin with.
Mhm.
So when you throw in the factor of in the black community, father's out the equation. Who you supposed to ask?
Nobody.
You ain't got to ask nobody. You can just date.
Nobody.
Stability was minimalized because
Now eliminate my question right
take in
there.
consideration most dudes was probably out here selling dope. So
Mhm.
financially, if he had the big bucks and he was making the moves and he's driving the Saabs and the Benzes, by definition, you want to gravitate to him because if you are coming from a poor household and here's this guy who can not only get you whatever you want, but make your mom's life a little bit easier, you're going to gravitate towards that dude regardless.
Mhm.
The standardized rules of what was dating went out the window when the rules of life changed. Then you bring in the government who's saying, hey, yes, you got knocked up by this dude who we threw in jail because he had a couple of bags of weed on him. But you know what? We'll go ahead and let you live here in our government housing for XYZ dollar amount. But when he gets home, he can't live here though, because your income is going to change. And if your income's changing, we're either going to raise his rent or we're going to kick you out.
So let me stop you real quick
Oh, Lord.
because this is where and I've had a lot of time to think about this. That is where I believe that the actual dynamic
Changed.
between the men and the women have changed.
It changed right
because
there.
now at that point in time, as us women, I'm seeing that my man is now he's in jail. He's whatever. Now I'm on food stamps. I cannot possibly have my man when he come home from jail. I can't have him move in with me, no matter how good of a man
Yeah.
that he wants to be
Mhm.
for me and my kids. I can't have him come in and move with me. So guess what? Now you know what mama got to do? Mama got to level up. Mama got to get that hustle on.
Mhm.
Mama got to show the little girl in the household that guess what? If this happens, this is what you have to now do.
Also, this is another reason why, if you pay attention, the black community is the only community that the minute you graduate from high school,
You put
we
out.
kick you out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You nowhere near prepared to be on
Right.
your own,
Right.
but you can't be here no more.
That's toxic.
But then again, you know what? The government can take care of you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
which I
I've d-
wholeheartedly
I've
disagree.
done all I
Same.
can.
Can we keep this shit funky?
What's up?
Can we keep this shit funky? Like, can we be honest about this shit?
I think we all being
I
honest.
thought we
Like,
were.
like,
I
can,
thought
can,
we
can
were
we
all
get this
being
shit honest about this shit?
Okay, so what's up?
Like, this whole time, when these dope ass women out here doing what they doing, right? Single mothers, getting their paper, doing what they gotta do to make sure that their kids are straight. Who taking that L at the end of the day?
Taking what L? What you talking about?
Who taking that L at the end of the day? Especially if you out here dating. Who taking that L at the end of the day?
As far as what, hun?
As far as what though? What
The
L?
new dude who
Who's-
finna come to the equation.
But what is the L though?
Right.
What is the L?
That
I
L
don't
is
understand.
no, you putting all the pressure on this man to live up to what you should have did with the BDs beforehand. And then it's making the whole situation even worse. So ain't nobody looking at the shit from the man point of view when
No,
we
I
come
get
into
what
an
you're saying.
equation. Because I'm a serial
Dater.
I'm a serial fucking stepfather. I'm
Okay.
just gonna say it real
I see.
talk.
I see where you're coming from.
I'm a serial stepfather.
I see what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying? Like my whole equation goes into
Vic
these
said
kids.
what? Yeah, I'm what?
I'm a serial stepfather
okay. So,
because I deal with women who got kids already, and I don't have none.
okay.
So therefore, hey, in order for me to get mine, I gotta make sure that you know how to hold your shit down.
I get what he's saying.
And then a lot of times a lot of these women don't know how to be mothers.
Oh.
But don't nobody want to talk about this. This a whole section that's just want to be overruled.
So
That's a whole nother show.
So
Like,
that's-
hey,
yeah,
it's just
yeah, that's a-
overruled
that's
like
whole
a
nother-
motherfucker.
that's a whole nother show because I definitely know where
I,
they at.
I get what he's
You
saying.
know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm
Um,
a serial stepfather, fam. I done been in positions where I knew that if I wasn't in that position, that kid wouldn't have been in a better position than where they at right now.
Okay.
I get what he's saying.
If I didn't come
I-
into their life.
So
Okay,
to sum
hold
it
on,
up,
hold
Like
on,
no
Shell.
bullshit.
Hold on, Shell.
to sum it up in a nutshell, what he's basically saying is we sit here and we find all these different reasons why there's a crack in the black community where we have mothers that are 18 to 24.
Mhm.
Okay. Whatever the reason why the original man is no longer in the equation,
Mhm.
whatever reason it may be, she has made the conscious decision that she's not going back to him.
Nope.
So now the next man in her life has to deal with issues. Trauma.
He gotta step it up.
There's trauma issues here.
He
Trauma
has to
issues
step
can
it
be
up.
anything from whatever he did that caused her to not look at men with the same gullible eyes she had once before. Raising these kids by herself has hardened her.
Mhm.
Where if you can't bring nothing to the equation, I don't need you in the equation. Okay. Or these disrupting the lives of the child. I have talked to women who have been taking care of their kids on their own. Clearly, plain as day, refused to even allow the father back into the life. Didn't ask no questions. Why not?
Mhm.
That's just what they stated, and that's what.
I
kid.
asked a
But
question.
during the
It
whole
makes a lot of
process,
sense when you ask
during the
us a
whole
question.
process, she is so accustomed to doing everything on her own, she doesn't know how to allow anybody else in.
Mhm.
It's not even one of those, can you do this for me? And this is what happens sometimes. You can ask him to do something for you, and he can say, well, let me see what I can do.
Mhm.
If you don't get that immediate yes, she immediately wants him out the equation.
So okay. So I totally get what y'all saying. Because as a woman who is a baby mama, I got 3 baby daddies. And I've posted about this before, how at one point in time I was definitely kind of ashamed of that. I was made to feel ashamed of that, which now I really don't give a fuck. It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But as far as like my experiences with the men that I have dealt with, and just trying to move forward as far as like, thinking about whether or not I want to have these men in my children's lives and vice versa. So number one for me, because of the fact that, and to the point that you just said, Tone, because of the fact that as a baby mama, and I don't like the term, but
Then don't use it.
I'm just okay. So as a woman with children who have multiple fathers,
As the mother of my children, that's all you have to say.
um,
As the mother of my children,
right? Have I experienced situations where I've asked somebody for something, I've needed somebody for something, I've asked the children of my father or the father of my
kid.
children for something, and they have not been able to provide it? Absolutely, yes. So number one, I will say that I have a thought process for anybody, and it's regardless of whether it is a man that I'm dealing with, a friend that I'm asking for a favor, or whoever. If I ask you for something, there is no response, I am going to figure it out myself.
For real.
Because
which is understandable.
the disappointment that you have there, because I feel like for me, I don't ask nobody for nothing.
Now, what he was saying was, you are not allowing in these type of environments that individual to adjust to the newfound responsibility.
Because here's the thing, though.
No,
I don't
that's not
have
it.
time
That's not
for
what
that.
I
That's
was
what I'm
saying.
Come
saying.
on, because then what?
That's
I don't
not what
have-
I was
children
saying.
lack
I don't
while
have
we
time-
wait on them
I
to
don't
get it
have
together.
No,
time
that's
for
not what I
that.
was saying.
I don't have time for that. As a mother who takes care of her children.
Mhm.
I don't, if I tell you I need $100 and hey, we'll just say $100. If I tell you that I need $100 and you don't say to me, here you go,
Or I got you.
Or I got
tomorrow,
you,
or whatever.
you know what I'm saying? Or
Come
you
on.
don't give me a definite answer,
We gotta get it.
I am going to need to figure out
Come on.
immediately once I hang up from you. I have to figure out how I'm gonna get $100 because I did not get a definite answer
Now,
from you.
but what happens though is you may have asked, let's say we dated,
Mhm.
okay? You may have asked me for $100,
Mhm.
okay? I don't get paid till Friday, so I gotta say, well, let me see what I can do,
Mhm.
because sometimes that literally means let me see what I can
Right,
do.
right.
And then I come back to you on Wednesday and I was like,
Don't.
I can't do it. By
Mhm.
Friday, I'm blocked.
Well,
Mhm.
and see, that's
You can
that's
block
not
me.
me. I again, I
can
move
block
in
me.
no expectations. I move in a way of I'm not of non-entitlement. I hate entitlement.
I'm
I
here
Oh,
hate
for a-
people that feel
entitlement runs the world.
entitlement.
I'm here for a purpose.
So I move in the direction of that way, but I also am Mother Bear. I'm also am I'm gonna take care of my shit
Mhm.
and I'm gonna get my shit done.
Come on.
I'm gonna have my shit together because at the end of the day, so a quick example. I was on and I'm raising my kids this way. And quick example, you guys, and I think we're gonna have to end up because I see Tone looking at the time.
No, I just looked at the time to see what it
okay.
was. That's all.
But I was on leave from work.
You've been on
so,
leave for a minute now.
I was on leave for 3 weeks.
Facts.
I was on leave for 3 weeks. Within that 3-week time period, I got a pretty good job. So I did get paid, but I did not get 100%. I got 60%.
Okay.
So getting a check for 60% of 1 week
Makes you have to reevaluate
is
a
like,
lot of
what the
stuff.
fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So in that interim, guess what? I got 3 teenagers. My 3 teenagers all had homecoming. My oldest had homecoming the first week that I had just had surgery. So guess what? I was not able to take him to go shopping for homecoming. My 2 youngest, they had homecoming the following week. I still hadn't got paid, and I did not know when I was going to get paid because of the fact that my short-term disability had not come through yet. So in the interim, I'm laying up literally, I'm hurting. I'm trying to figure out how the fuck am I going to get these kids to goddamn homecoming? Guess what? My oldest, Mama, I could just go. If you just give me them, I could just go and I can get my own stuff. Bam, no problem. You know what my daughter did? My daughter automatically has in her, and I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but I have automatically programmed into her, don't wait on nobody to do nothing for you.
Right.
You know what she did?
It's a 50-50.
She braided hair all week, and she cold with it. Shout her out,
Come
Book
on.
Bree.
Come on.
Book Bree. She braided hair literally that whole week. I usually have a rule that
So
she
little
can't
Nisha
do
Pooh.
hair. She can't do hair throughout the week because you still got to make sure that your schoolwork is done.
Right.
I let her do what she did.
So
When I tell you that my child bought her dress, her shoes,
Come on, baby.
her makeup,
Come on, baby.
her nails, her wig,
Come
Okay.
on, baby.
So-
she did everything.
so before we go any further, first
Mhm.
clap her down.
Mhm.
Could you clap
Oh,
her
yeah.
down
Let me
first
clap.
of all?
Round of applause,
Okay.
baby.
Damn, clap the baby. Shit, damn. All right.
Booker. Booker.
Okay, let's clap her down first of all.
Okay.
2 things you did that where a lot of problematic situations occur
Mhm.
didn't occur with you. Number 1, you knew your surgery was coming. You knew when your surgery was coming. And I knew you knew your surgery was coming because you talked to me about your surgery.
Mhm.
Okay. So you knew in advance. Your kids knew in advance. So your kids knew with homecoming being during the same time frame that you had the surgery, your kids, because you raised them right, instilled that hustle mentality that needs to be done.
Mhm.
So even though if you did have someone you can ask for $200, $300 for to get this situation through, whether they gave it to you or not, your kids had a hustler mentality to take care of it on their own because eventually they're going to have to get out here and do it on their own.
Mhm.
Number 2, if you did ask somebody for some assistance, you were not going to ask the week of homecoming.
Mhm.
You probably would have said something in advance and passed like, oh, shoot, I got the surgery coming up and I completely forgot that. Insert child name here. Homecoming is coming up. That way, if you ask that individual then and they say, let me see what I can do, you're allowing them time to make it happen.
And let me just put an insert in here. That person that I would have asked would have been my mama.
Mama don't
Same.
count.
Same.
No.
No. The reason why I say mama don't count, because if your mama raised you, your mama always have a contingency plan for you. I was over visiting my mama the other day. Now she's literally
Lord.
bed stricken. And I'm sitting here just talking about the fact that I'm in between jobs because I literally quit one job, got another job the next day, but they ain't gonna start me till November. So my mom was like, so what you need for the studio? Like, woman, you barely can get the hell out the goddamn. What is you, boy? If you don't send me that list of what you need for, say less.
Mhm.
That's just how my mama
Mhm.
is. I would never need to ask her. Shit, she spend money on the kids more than she ever spent on me. I be yelling at her, I gotta go to therapy because of her. But it's like, how you take care of my grandkids better than you take care of me? But in the story, long story short, you are smart enough of a woman to know how to pre-plan yourself whenever you get in position. You're never going to go to anybody within the last hour, in the 13th hour of trying to get shit done. You would probably have it already planned out and know, yes, you were getting disability. 9 out of 10, they probably told you you're not getting your whole 100%. So you probably estimated about 50% just to be on the safe side. Okay? Because I did that. They just hit me with, I was supposed to get a check and a half. You know what I got? $300. I ain't gonna tell you how much I really get paid, but believe me, $300 is very disrespectful.
Listen, when
Of what I
looked at
should be
that
getting
for
paid.
$600, I said,
For
ooh,
$300.
y'all play with me.
But the funny thing is because I lost my job 12 years ago, and because the unemployment rate was at 10%, it took almost a year for me to get a job again. I said, I'm never going to be in a spot where I'm broke. Okay. Hence how this actually started. And this is why when you paid me the
So-
other day, I was like, shit, right on time. Let's go pay the cable bill.
Right. So when you put it that way, and you know, it's like you learn how to be strong because of situations that has happened.
Right.
So I can't blame the man that I'm, you know, the guy that I told you about, my friend. I can't blame him for feeling the way that I feel.
Right.
I can't blame him. And I never get upset and I never get mad. And because for me and him, we have we have a friendship. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're my friend. I remember when we first started dealing with each other and he said, hey, if this doesn't happen to turn out to be, into a relationship or whatever the case may
not at all,
be,
kind sir.
will we still be able to be friends
Thank you, friend.
afterwards? And I said, absolutely, we can still be friends afterwards. Like, I'm not that person. And I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, they come back for more.
Oh,
Shut
Lord
up.
Jesus.
I'm sick of you.
You see what
I'm just telling y'all, I'm just telling y'all, I'm just confident in the type of woman that I am. And the friends that know me, they know.
Come on.
I
They
can
know.
say, I can say something to you because it's your show. I'm gonna let you live, but we can't talk like that when we outside of here. I'm gonna eat you because I got people like you. People like
take that
you.
words back. You said you gonna eat her?
Not in that way.
Hey, nigga, I test
Play,
every
I'm just playing,
motherfucking
I'm
thing.
just playing.
I am a
I'm
nasty
playing.
motherfucker.
You work here, so definitely not in that way.
Right. But no. But for real, it's now 7:00, so I kind of want to close it out just a little bit.
Go right
But
ahead.
we are definitely
I
going
wanna
to
cook.
continue this conversation. I have people who, like I said, I think I want to extend this to just
We got to bring her back because we didn't let her talk enough.
I know.
I feel bad for
I
her.
want to extend this to a love, just loving on people in general. How do we get back to that? Because not only do we have the relationship thing that's just going absolutely bonkers to the left, we also have an influx of people just not giving a fuck about people no more.
Not giving a damn.
Just not
Because
really
being
caring.
an asshole is cool.
Hold on.
Somewhere
For one,
in
hold on.
between
It-
there,
it is
being an
cool.
asshole
Hold on,
is
it
cool.
is cool. Hold on, for one, it is cool.
And people know
It
it's
is
not.
cool. Yes,
and
it
people
is.
don't understand.
Yes, it
Well,
is.
we not gonna.
Because we being honest.
No, we not gonna. We
Being an
not gonna
asshole is
start-
being honest.
Okay, Shelton. We not gonna go down that again.
I'm just
That's
saying.
another episode. That's
We
another
being honest.
episode. So
Everybody always ask about honesty until
we
they get it.
will let me say my outro.
Let me
So-
go ahead and cut his mic off.
We will continue this conversation. We will be we will be back on. If there is anyone who is interested in just wanting to be a guest, I am absolutely open to that. I love the conversations that we have. I think that these conversations are the kitchen table conversations where you don't necessarily you talk about some things that you don't necessarily talk about in public. A lot of the things that we'll talk about here, you probably will never hear me talk about this in public unless you are one of my closer friends. So if you want to hear more, if you feel like you like the content, you like the the conversations that we're having, definitely subscribe. I think you can definitely find it on the podcast for Apple iTunes, the podcast app. Definitely follow, share as much as you can, so that we can get the conversation started, because I really want our community to be healed. I really want to see more love from each of us. And I want to start somewhere. So I feel like with me being, as my sister called me at one point in time, the epitome of love, I definitely want to start somewhere. And I think that me starting and really sharing my thoughts, and getting a conversation started is a way to start it. I'm also going to be thinking about, I have been thinking about actually doing a live, maybe at somebody's, bar, little somewhere, hint, tone. I don't know, put that out there, so your girl could come, and I could get cute and I could have my little guests and we all just cute. But anyway, but yes, share, like, we will definitely have Tiffany again. We will definitely have Shelton again. When I'm gonna rein him in. I'm gonna have to get him. I'm gonna get him together. But I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. See y'all next time.